Hello, I am Pam, and this is Made by Pam, and welcome back. So, earlier, I was trying to do a video of all my buttons. Well, for some reason, it didn't record all of it. So now I have to do it all over again. But you know what? I love buttons. So, let's see if I can make it under 35 minutes, because the last one was like 35 minutes, and yeah, it was a little excessive. So I have this cute little button here. And I like to keep my buttons in little baggies or in big bags. So those are whole buttons. And I have some cute little buttons here. So I like to keep them in the original packages if I can to begin with. Just so that, and these are gems, but just keeps the buttons together with its mate. And I know a lot of these buttons are going to be like vintage buttons, because I find them at a thrift store in like big bags of buttons. Like this is 57 cents back in the day. Go figure. There's some button covers. Okay. Now this is a button that I picked up last night. It's a green lime button. And I got it for 10 cents. I was at Walmart and I happened to go through the clearance bin, and these were there, and I scanned them, and they said 10 cents. I'm like, okay, those are mine. I have those little buttons. So see, I have buttons and buttons and buttons. Enough buttons to last probably a lifetime. I have those and those. See how long it takes to get through this whole bag. Ah! I just dropped a bunch. These are wooden buttons. So there's little ladybugs. You can see that. Little ladybugs. And little snails. And little kitty cats, I think. Or maybe they're tigers. I don't know. Got little butterflies. So yeah, I've got this little baggie of wooden buttons. Maybe they fell out because I didn't close it right before. Or maybe the sticky on it's wearing out. Then I've got these other wooden buttons that have like little shapes. There's multiple shapes. There's trees. And these are more not for apparel. These are more just like one of those fun craft projects. Maybe if you're doing a quilt and you want to have, you know, other than doing the yarn on it, you could do buttons. I don't know. Whatever. But I do like buttons. Obviously. I have quite a bit. Now these are stick-on buttons. Ones that you can stick on, like peel off the sticky off the back and stick it on. I haven't really used them, so I don't know if they'll work or not. And I have these bags of buttons. I have 2 of these bags. And they were 50 cents each. Even though it says $1. At Walmart, I make sure I check the prices of buttons before I go up and purchase them. Because they have those little price checkers. And you can go through and check what the price of your items are. Don't just go by with what it says on there. Go ahead and check it. That's how I got all those fabrics that I got last time. I went through and I checked to see how much those were going to be. So instead of being the $3 that were priced for, I got them for $1. And I think that's probably why a lot of people may have passed them up. And because they were like, $3 for a yard of clearance fabric? What? And I check it on the clearance thing. And I'm like, oh, this is only $1. I'm going to get those. So yeah. But see, I have a lot of buttons. Well, these are little gems, like sew-on gems. But yeah, I just kind of keep them all together. See, these ones are really cute. All sorts and sorts of buttons. These ones are nice too. Little sparkles. We got little buttons. Buttons and buttons and buttons. Lots and lots of buttons. See, I have another one of these too. So I got 2 of them. And there's my other big bag of buttons. I've got a green button, which was 75 cents. Another button covers thing. Got pink buttons. Oh, look. They match. Means I have 6 of those. Let's see. And more buttons. So yeah, I just have a lot of buttons. And I like to keep them together and, instead of having to rifle through all of my different buttons, I can just kind of like say, okay, do I want a shank button or do I want a hole button, a 4-hole or a 2-hole button? I have that both sorted out now that I can, and this is a bag of buttons, but then I can kind of go to that certain bag that has the buttons. And see, I have this big bag here that I had all those buttons in. I have this box of buttons. And see the buttons on my shirt here? The buttons on my shirt is buttons from this box. So it has a couple different designs in it. Maybe I can open it up and show you some of the different designs. So yeah, those. And little crisscross. Little floral. That one. And they also have some smaller buttons in here and whatnot. So yeah, that's one of those little things I found. And I think that one was 75 cents. You know, I used to not write down how, when I got stuff. I've only started it recently because I'll be going through something, like going through my stash. I was like, oh, when did I get that fabric? And so I've started writing down when I purchased the fabric and how many yards I have on that tag on the fabric so that I can look at it. These are some cute little buttons. And then here's some rainbow buttons. Those are cute. Oh, and then my little thing with my little owls. My little owl bag opened up. Those are my daughter's favorites, is the owls. We have those. And these you can kind of tell were used for something previously. We've got just a bag of buttons there. And of course, I guess the owls are in the wrong bag. They're in the hold button bag instead of in the shank button bag. But yeah, so those are my first bag. And How am I ever going to make this shorter, Lola? I guess I could always say, well, those are my hold buttons tuned back for my shank. Maybe I'll do that. But let me finish showing you my hold buttons. So, I have these little containers too that I have. They have little buttons like that. I just have a little container of buttons like that. Those are shank buttons. Little blue buttons. So just a little container of blue buttons here. I don't know how well you can see that. Probably not very well. Let's see. I don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully it showed up. So, I even have this bag of hold buttons. And then a whole bag of white, different sizes. There are 2 buttons and like two hold buttons and 4 hold buttons. Then I have shank buttons and hold buttons in here. But let me show you my big bag of hold buttons. I have this giant bag, and these are just like miscellaneous buttons in here that I don't have paired up with anything. Like if I needed certain buttons for something. But sometimes I have projects that I just want like a certain button. And use those. And then I have like different shaped buttons, like hearts and flowers and ovals and houses and squares. Just for some of those fun projects that you might want to do with buttons. You know, at one point I thought about doing a quilt that had different shapes and buttons on it for a baby. Just because, and then it just didn't happen. Go figure. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end this video here, and those are my hold buttons. So buttons that have holes in them, that like have 4 holes or 2 holes, just those various sizes. And come on back later and I'll show you my shanked buttons. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.